Hello, hello. I hope you had a happy new year and a Merry Christmas. Sorry I didn't keep up this Let's Play. I had relatives visiting and it became extraordinarily hard to record to the point where I didn't even want to try because I knew I was going to get interrupted. So we left off last. We just got done talking to Tiamat. The twins came in to get us because they were afraid that we might have collapsed or, you know, we're getting ass fucked by a dragon or something. Which would be more than kinky than really anything else, but you know. State of the game is pretty cool. They've come out with weekly captones since you know 3 weeks ago or whatever. I thought for sure we'd be having to accompany them or having them like run behind us, but maybe I've remembered wrong. Also, I think last time I was recording I was still sick. And that's some of the raid gear that this person's got on. It's like all Greek toga inspired and whatnot. I don't know. I actually haven't had a hard time getting around Razat Han as I did the Crystarium, particularly the whole section of the Crystarium that's like the crystalline mean stacked on top of the path to the library or whatever the fuck. The Crystarium is the one city in the game I've used Aetherites in more often than actually walked around because of that whole section, where it's just like a twisted, fucked up thing. Are we allowed to get this Aetherite yet? No, okay, no, not yet. They'll let us have it soon enough. I mean, Razat Han can't stay in a state of emergency forever, can it? Can it? Eh? Imagine if they did that, if they put an Aetherite in a zone and were just like, no, you can never attune to this. Get fucked. That he tells us the scales of Nidhogg found their way into the hands of people in the firmament. When, like, I was pretty sure that when we defeated Nidhogg, he, like, dissipated, turning back into Estidian with his, like, eyes on, and then we pulled the eyes out of his body. His, like, soul shot up into the sky and dissipated or whatever. I didn't think there were any scales left.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for.
So how many did you hope for?
Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Well,
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations.
What if that's what they want,
Of
though?
course, we would need to consult with various Alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated.
I mean, if we destroy all of the towers, like, won't their plans be foiled since they need them?
To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
Thancred just deadass said Bajir. He didn't say Bajia, he said Bajir. There's no R there, Thancred.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Please, I must speak with you.
Nadana.
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
Ah man, Alisea is so based.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnair from an awful fate.
Well, let's hope it stays that way.
Yet who has truly saved whom? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
The talisman? Is this true? I was so groggy from sleep, I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Is our Beauty and the Beast flower changing color? It is.
Look at that! Its color is completely changed.
What do you have there?
A heart bloom.
How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
Akasha.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Of course you're not. It's Hanish, you little Charlian strumpet.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Hanish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach. A gift bestowed from on high, or torn from the heavens in some traditions.
Torn from the heavens, really? They tied back to that song title.
Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate.
Purposefully alter, huh? But you can alter it. So what are you talking about?
The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion.
Spiritual emotion, huh?
As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities.
Well,
That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I guess she's talking about all the fights that literally will fill your LB bars, you know, like instantly for passing a certain part of the fight, or like killing certain adds or certain mechanical things. You'll just get a full limit break bar thing because you're about to need the shit out of it to stop the boss from killing you.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
Yeah, you and the player base in the last 10 years of the story, Yushtola.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research. Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense! You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
If only my insights were that appreciated.
Shall we depart for Sharlayan then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the annex.
If Nidana literally showed up in the like lore forum and, you know, brought about a idea no one had ever heard about before, they'd be like, quit making shit up.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
That's a bit of a simplification, but that's what the lore forum feels like a lot of the time. You can't argue nuance there. There's about 20 people who will just dogpile you. And that number grows every day. Go there and I talk and I get dogpiled most of the time. Although sometimes they're, well actually, not sometimes, like, this is about 50-50. Like, half the time they're very cordial. And the other half of the time they just want to dogpile you and try to get you to shut up. Okay, let's see what we got. I'm gonna set my home point to be Old Sharlayan, because we're gonna have to go back there a fucking ton in Walker. And Clyde does not have Blue Mage level, and so does not have easy access to Aetheryte tickets. Although I could go buy some with the Centurio seals I do have. Also, excuse me, sorry for burping. I got over being sick, but every now and then the back of my throat swells up like I'm gonna cough. And then usually what happens is I burp instead. Which is really weird because it like gets rid of the feeling that I need to cough for a little while, but then it comes back again and then I just burp. It's the most I've ever burped. I don't really understand what's going on. That is a hot bunny. I'm gonna be extra sensitive to portrayals of ladies these next few recordings. My family here, I didn't get much alone time with my girlfriend. I also didn't get any alone time for myself. So I have not looked at her, touched a bosom in a few weeks.
Take heart and protect them well.
But for Dola said I can't save everyone, so. Oh. They've got
Good,
takeouts.
you're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
I know they can't put brands on those bags, but like, they look like a brown paper sack from a Chinese restaurant. I know they're not going to have Chinese food in them, but that's the first thing I think of. God damn, look at the size of those hamburgers. Some big ass cookies too. Dude, that fucking cheeseburger is bigger than his head. I don't think he actually reached the meat on that bite. No, Alice doesn't like pickles. A woman after my own heart. I also don't like pickles.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
Wow.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Estinian, beset on all sides.
You're one to talk.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Cryle, I hear you've recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done.
How convenient.
If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes? Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt. The relief of a people with renewed hope.
I don't get why bright yellow would be hope.
Indeed. And in turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Telophoroi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day. Hey, that's mine.
Dude,
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion. They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Damn, Alice really deadass ate that cheeseburger that was bigger than her head. And Grahatia did too. Did we have a burger on our plate? I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that. It's not quite as big for Clyde, but you know. He's worried about the time, huh? He wants to masturbate, just like me.
Why else did you think we were here? Surrender to thy fate, O champion.
Darn it. Flower's green now. Was it green with envy because it can't join in on the fun? Oh, look, it's Xenos.
Ah! Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
Why though? If we took out all of your towers simultaneously by passing the metals around, wouldn't that just take like a day or two? And surely that wouldn't take longer than a protracted battle would, you know, to take Garlemald proper.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame.
Did Xenos just call the Warrior of Light hot? Like, you know, attractive?
I basked in the afterglow until the void yawned once more. And then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before.
Nah, I know that he's actually saying that our ability to actually combat him and resist his power, you know, broke him out of depression, is what he's saying, but...
Burn. Burn. Let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me. So I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth. Much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
Something tells me he's not actually speaking in a metaphorical sense at all about his dream. School's in, huh? Oh look, Alphanon's like practicing on a training dummy. I think we had all the, yeah, we did. Charlie in as a big Yoshi. I wonder if the in-game music is too loud. I know it was too loud, like in the dungeon last time. Let's see. Let's turn the background music down. Just a tad. Maybe 55. I don't want to step on Sakin-san's toes. Imply that I don't like his music by turning it down or something. I thought the music is one of the best fucking parts of this expansion. As it always ever is. Ah, they cut you off because you's a bitch. Man, if you're playing a woman, then Alphanaud's totally outnumbered here, 3-1. The Legend of Alphanaud Lavalier, huh? Gonna go see Master Monte Shane, or whatever his name is. Monte Shane, however you say his French ass name. You know, these doors almost look like, I mean, not really, but they're reminiscent of the Amrot doors. So is the incredibly high ceiling. In fact, this actually kind of reminds me of the Amrot Capitol building a little bit. Just a little bit, though. It's probably unrelated. Uh-oh, we're getting the students all excited. She's very yellow. Or, well, surrounded by yellow. I guess her skin's kind of gray. Swarthy gray. But, the thing I hate most about this expansion is that it seems like the younger members of the player base never knew the word glean, and now they love the word glean, and like every other post on the lore forum is like, I managed to glean some info from this cutscene. I gleaned this. I gleaned that. And it's like, I fucking hate the word glean now. Please stop overusing it. Cute redhead over there. Hina Geshi, huh? Funny. Oh wow, she's very cute. She must not like Charlian food either. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. If I sneeze, I apologize. One of my nostrils is starting to burn. Oh god, please either just sneeze or stop burning. God man, the forum robes look so stupid. Hey, you're wearing a stupid dress.
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that Inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you.
You just pronounce dower as doer? Oh, British people. Get over yourselves.
I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student.
Yeah, I'm actually wishing that some of them would actually get into danger and, you know, actually, like, stop being that way, but nah, they're never gonna have that happen to them.
Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
Oh, so that's why that one guy who was gonna spill the beans during the Inquisition started looking like he was getting force choked.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
A lecture, huh?
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Well, the living, obviously. Our flesh.
Yes, very good.
Clyde may be a
This is
blockhead.
the form with which the layman is most familiar.
Yeah. Clyde may be a blockhead, but he's not that much of a blockhead.
Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
Well, you'd forget everything. Because the paper would look uniform. Or, well, I guess, okay.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The calamity?
The seventh umbral calamity.
Hot damn.
The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation.
But it's not really that you don't remember, it's just that you can't speak on it. Like, that's... I'm a little consternated about this explanation for stuff, because we got
only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process.
We saw the guy try to speak on it, he knew exactly what he was going to say, and then he looked like he was getting force choked.
Unnecessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
Right.
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve. Rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form.
Well, that's the one that we've actually been shown explicitly.
Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
Oh, is that the writers trying to be sly and saying that not every soul carries on? We've been shown far too many that do carry on, though. Namely our own.
Well, I think that's enough education for today. Now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet.
Honestly, I don't see that as much of a banquet. It was like one or two things. Then again, Sharlayans aren't good at food, so why would you be good at describing meals?
I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend.
Seems legit.
Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
And he's laughing like he knows something. Capital idea, huh? I wish Kryl would stop dropping the G on Grahatia's name. I know it's supposed to, like, mark that she's close to him or whatever, but, Bollocks on that, I say. So Alice just implied that the forum crafter quests and gatherer quests are fetch quests, and yeah, they literally are. Although they have some really neat stories attached to them. I might do them for the LP, but we'll see. Go do that offensive, huh? Okay. I'm gonna take scales around or something. I actually don't remember this portion of the story exactly. I managed to finish Endwalker in about a week. I think it took me 5 or 6 days. And that was mainly due to login queues fucking up with my playtime. When I get hold of a good story, I will finish it really, really quickly. Because I can't put it down. Okay. Alrighty then. Yawn, 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 yawn. Okay, so we can either teleport to Limsa for big money, or we can just break reality and go take a ship. So we're gonna break reality and go take a ship. Because I ain't paying 1,000 gil to teleport. Not even to save a minute or two on the recording. Ah, fuck you, Karen. Fuck you, Karen. Fuck you. Anyway. It's kind of funny, yeah, I saved 700 gil. Charlian is actually like adjacent to 4 different zones, because you can use the experimental aetheryte to go to Thavnir for free. You can use the boat for 300 gil to go to Limsa, and then obviously you can just take the elevator or the aetheryte system down into Labyrinthos. And so it's actually like a really fucking strong hub zone. I think it's the one city in the game that's attached to the most zones. So like if we think about it, let's see. Kugane, you can do the same. You can take a boat to Limsa, or you can go out to the Ruby Sea. So that's attachment to 2 zones. And then the Crystarium is attached to Lakeland. And I guess you could take an Amuro to Amarang and an Amuro to Kalusia. So that's 3 zones. Well, here's something Endwalker's going to be continually guilty of. Telling us and not showing us. Oh, the bulk of our forces are having to contend with this massive threat. But you can't see it anywhere in the world. You can't see it anywhere. Brave few, huh? Isilbard contingent, huh? Aid the people of Garlemald, huh? Alright, there are civilians. And we're doing it because we're the good guys, and we're extra good. Sounds like the spires in Final Fantasy XI, when they sent their energy via the crystal line to Delkflet's tower to wake up or power Tulia, the floating city of Tulia. Huh. Well, Clyde being an Almegan is not going to say for the people of Garlemald. Yeah, let's go for honor and glory. Well, get warm clothes because it's going to be cold. Basically talking to everyone who's playing like a bunny boy in a thong. All the cutscenes or whatever. Please try to look less ridiculous in these cutscenes that are meant to be taken seriously. Which of course only impels people to take them less seriously. And all that implies. So we're about at an hour. We'll keep it going. We'll see how far we can get with these cutscenes. Because we're going to eventually run into an instance battle. And at that point, I'll probably stop. It's cold, but how cold? I didn't see Urian J dressing up in any sort of warm coat. And neither of them remarked on the cold upon returning. I mean, I guess that wasn't their most pressing concern. But neither of them did. Neither of them were like, man, it was so fucking cold there that it was hard for us to scout. People are mad. Some people turned down being in the Isilbard contingent because of their sheer hatred for Garleans. That's realistic. I wonder how many good fighters we didn't get to bring because of that. Oh, hey, look, it's Gaius and Maxima. Why wouldn't Gaius come with us? couldn't you wear a mask and use a slightly different weapon or something? The real reason they don't have guys go on this is because the Werelit quests, which are side quests, and then they would suddenly have to account for him being in 2 places at once in the data, and they don't want to do that, and that's the real reason why he's not coming, which is really disappointing and stupid. But whatever. There's apparently a lot of players hate Gaius still. Which, I mean, understandable, I suppose, but I don't know. He's had his redemption arc, and we're about to go redeem a whole bunch of Garleans anyway, so, like, why not? Yep, let's get on in there.
By the 12.
I see a lot of faces I recognize. Although Clyde wouldn't recognize all of these people because he hasn't done...
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsabard contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Oh, sexy. We get the ex-Garlean spy.
Lucia!
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention. Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must, I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer, we shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort.
So if you've done White Mage and Bard questline, you'll recognize all of these NPCs, except that Mook on the left, that Midlander there, she's just some random conjurer. But the Bard on the right is named Guidelo, and I think the Lancer there is Samson, I want to say.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Hey, last time I saw you,
I know you.
you got shot in the leg by Marrowweave.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten.
Truth be told, I didn't give a fuck about you.
Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughing stock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but the promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do.
Well, at least he's cool. I mean, he did get in a gunfight. He had a gun duel with Marrowweave. Not many NPCs can say that. And if you've done...
Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy.
Oh, so we got engineers from Limsa. How about that? But yeah, if you've done Marauder and Scholar quest line, the Lalafell on the left there is Alkazilka. He's involved in the Scholar quest line. And the guy on the right there is, I want to say Blown Bar? He's involved in Marauder, which leads to the Warrior quest line.
Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow.
Where the fuck is Fordola?
That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the Avatar of Destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us.
So thank Cred and Yurian Jago and tell Lise a lot of stuff. I wonder what else they're doing with Lise.
And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require.
Fighting in the cold for a long time, being in the cold for a long time, even if you've got the proper wear, it saps your strength. It kills you. Like, you start losing fingers if you're not, careful. You start losing toes to frostbite. It's hellish. It's hellish.
The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limsa Lomitsa.
She's talking about machinists right now, but the only machinist in this scene here is Stefan Ivian, however you say his name. He's the elephant in the center there, wearing the original machinist artifact armor, as well as I think it's a blacksmith hat. And then to the right, you can see his recruited machinists who more or less know about guns. The guys with goggles to the right there, standing in front of the Ishgardian Knights. The other two guys, you might recognize Sir Alberic from the Dragoon questline, back in A Realm Reborn. And Maxima, of course, who's a Garlean.
There is another awaiting introduction.
Really? Him? He's the best of the...
Lord Emanolaine!
Where's Archorel?
Yes. Emanolaine de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that.
Yeah, but this isn't supposed to be a contingent of where people are making something of themselves. This is supposed to be a best of the best contingent. You are not the best of the best, and you should not be here.
But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light. Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroa with my tales of daring-do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Ooh! La la.
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Shit, we got all the fucking Zelas, and we got fucking that other Gunbreaker. You can see him in Bozja stuff, which I haven't included in the LP, but trust me, he's in Bozja stuff. And then we even got a Vieira from fucking Dalmasca in the back there with hot blonde hair and ash gray skin.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Damn!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
He's actually speaking from an informed viewpoint. You know, we learned from him itself, and also from the Emperor, that, you know, the Garlean nation was created by the Ascians for the Ascians to serve as a puppet state. So literally, the civilians of Garlemald are victims. their victims to enforce despotism by basically dark super beings, more or less.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy.
Yeah, and you actually still find the same sort of zealotry on the official forum. I mean, not as hard these days, but...
But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth.
If you look at posts from just even a year or two ago, there's still people saying that, you know, Garleans are complete shit.
They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Baelsar himself is working to help rebuild Wurlit, a nation he once conquered. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good.
So all those people you mentioned, why aren't they in the contingent?
It won't be easy. But we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garlond Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey.
So, Cid is kind of here after a fact?
However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Well, seems like a plan. Okay, so now we can go around and talk to everyone. Oh, we can't target Gaidalo or Alkazoka. I won't die on you, Lise. Madeline wants to go hit on Serena and Sadu would like break him in half. Wow, you're not going to be shown up by me or Estinian, huh? Strange dream, huh? 2 suns, one burning red, the other frozen black. Closer they circled, closer and closer, and as they danced, the world fell to ruin. In blinding chaos, she spied black silhouettes, and knew at once that one was yours. Yet we knew not how to interpret this dream, save as a sign that a great danger awaits. Aww. Damn! Looks like Sadu is hitting on Serena. Can't talk to anyone else. I'm pretty sure you can talk to Sansa, like you can talk to all the characters. I think you can talk to these guys if you've done their quest lines, but I don't seem to be able to talk to them right now, so it's whatever. Okay. Let's make sure I talk to all the Scions here. I know I'm going through this kind of fast, but you can always pause to read it for yourself if you're having trouble keeping up. Estinian's, like, you know, worried about Albrook over there. Oh wow, so the Beastmen literally can't come because of their physiology. Well, that sucks. Although I would think that... Let me think about that. The Exali fucking live in Coerthas, right? They could have sent a contingent. Like, fuck that noise. Bring some Exali. Oh, look, it's having us talk to them again. Oh, give them the scales. That's right. He has a bunch of extra lines if you've done White Mage. There you go, Lise. Message from Ian. In distant lands and times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of light. Specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild. But they're no substitute for proper clothes. I feel like they played a bunch of Breath of the Wild before this or something. I mean, before writing this. talking to Clyde as if he's not wearing thick armor with lots of layers. No, is Tataru showing up? Yeah, Tataru's showing up. Well, I won't be wearing it, but, you know, whatever. We'll at least look at it in the viewing window. Okay, neat. And there they went, telling us about two lesser scions. I'm pretty sure one of them was actually one of the Crystal Braves that hated Alphino, actually. They apparently did a great job during Shadowbringers events or something, and that's the first time we're hearing of it, and it's not shown, and we're just gonna have to take it at face value. Winter Woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. So we'll take a look at that, but I'm not gonna wear it because, I mean, like, I guess it would make sense to wear it, but I don't think I really need it. Got a pretty thick tunic and really thick armor already. I'm gonna be doing a lot of active fighting and stuff. I don't think we really need a fur coat. Particularly because we're not actually going to be wearing the coat. The only way we would really make it appear in the cutscenes is by glamming it over our armor, and glamours aren't your actual clothing. They just give you the appearance of different clothing, so whatever. Frosty reception, huh? So there's the start of the instance battles. It's like 2 in a row, and a bunch of major cutscenes. We're already at an hour and a half, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Thanks for watching so much, and sticking with me. Thanks for subscribing if you are a subscriber, and stay safe. Have a great day.